Welcome, everybody, back to Eye on Fusion, episode number 2, November 6, 2018, which is also Election Day, oddly enough. So if you haven't voted, it's probably too late, but hopefully you voted. Today I have with me Elise Bigley from the Cleveland Fusion, the marketing director, and former player last year. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm glad you were able to make time in your busy schedule, as you said you were going to be working on a calendar for the team.
Yeah, so that project in particular, we're collaborating with other Cleveland women's sports teams. So that includes the Iron Maidens rugby team, the Cleveland Crush basketball team, Cleveland Comets softball, and the Burning River roller derby team. So we have right now 5 teams that are all working together on this 2019 calendar just to really expand awareness for women's sports in Cleveland.
Which is fantastic. You actually named one team that I was not familiar with. You said basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know. I knew we had rugby, and I knew there was softball, and I knew there was roller derby, and I knew there was football, but you sprung one on me.
Yeah, so all the teams are in various leagues, obviously, in different levels of competition. So the basketball team in particular is a developmental league, so most of the women on their team have played high school and college basketball, and their goal is to make it into the WNBA. So this is their way to continue after college, get that level of competition, and then hopefully get scouted for the big leagues.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, especially if you have a passion for it. There's a big difference between just doing it for fun and having that skill where you have a chance, to make it big.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So what's the feature of the calendar?
Say that again?
What's the feature of the calendar? It's all of them?
Yeah, so we've had a photo shoot once earlier this year. It was in early October, and it was snowing, of course, because it's Cleveland. But we have another one tonight. So the first one, we kind of just went to different sites around Cleveland, taking some group photos. And it's a good opportunity for the players to get to know each other and meet others. And then tonight we'll be going out to the Zelma George Recreation Center in Cleveland. And they have a roller rink, football field, and a basketball court. So just a good opportunity to have some different settings and, kind of just show off the teams. And we'll also include some different game day action photos as well.
Oh, that's excellent. Maybe a couple bios, a little bit of information about the players.
Yeah, we'll see what we can squeeze in there.
Good.
But yeah, we have a new website. It's www.clevelandwomensports.com. And so that kind of links to all the other teams. So if you want to learn more about any of them, that would be your best bet.
That's great that all of the teams are kind of gathering together in league with one another. I mean, you have different sports, different passions, but all coming together.
Yeah, and we found that a lot of the leagues are facing very similar challenges, whether that be getting media attention, whether it's recruiting players. For example, with rugby and football and roller derby too, I mean, a lot of women haven't had the opportunity to play those sports as kids. So now they're, potentially out of college, and they're kind of looking, okay, well, how do I, increase or, what's my next step in sports? So they're having the opportunity now through these leagues to really expand their horizons and try out different things. And it's just all about getting the word out. So by collaborating and having our fans learn about each other, and really kind of opens up the pool there. Yeah,
that's great. Even to get fans, like you said, of one that might be, strong attendance, going to softball games. Okay, well, I like football too. Yeah, let's go there. Oh, I didn't even know there was a rugby team. Oh, well, I don't know much about rugby, but then I'll go check it out.
Exactly.
That's excellent. So how did you get involved with this team?
Okay, so I guess I'll rewind a bit. So I grew up in Pittsburgh. Don't give me too much crap for it.
No, you're allowed to grow up wherever you want.
Yeah, so I grew up there, and I'd heard about the Pittsburgh Passion, which is the Pittsburgh women's football team in our same league, the WFA. And I'd heard about them as a kid, but the idea of ever playing for them never really seemed like it would be in reach for me. But my uncle was a high school football coach, so when I was in high school, I was their water girl, and I've just been around football my whole life. Then I came to Cleveland for school and fell in love with the city and decided to stick around. And the thought of playing football at that point had kind of escaped my mind. I'd played softball and fencing throughout high school, but stopped during college. And it was through the Cleveland Pride LGBT organization that I stumbled upon the Cleveland Fusion. So I was helping out with their community outreach and just trying to connect the Cleveland Pride organization to other local groups that were in support of LGBTQ equality. So in preparation for our 2017 festival, I was just reaching out to whoever I could find. Hey, do you want to be a part of this parade and festival? Stumbled upon the Cleveland Fusion and had dinner with Tom and TJ Monachino, and was just like, these guys are just incredible guys. They're so genuine, and this is an organization I want to be a part of. And so in 2017, we had a kickoff to Pride game. So it was the Fusion against the Montreal Blitz, I believe, and it was the last Saturday in May, so leading up to Pride Month in June. So it was an opportunity to bring the LGBTQ community who's never maybe had seen a women's football game, invited them out, and it was the first time that I saw a Cleveland Fusion game. And from there, I'm like, okay, like, these are some badass women. Like, I don't know if I can really keep up with them. But again, at that point, it was just from a community awareness fan perspective. But I kept in touch with Tom and TJ, and eventually they were like, just try out.
Just come out and just see what you can do.
Right.
All right.
So summer of 2017, I was training with Coach Sam Jackson. We were in the sand at Edgewater Park, at Edgewater Beach, and it was an incredible workout and miserable all at the same time.
Yeah, those are the best.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of us rookies really bonded because, sand everywhere, just that's what happens.
That's what brings everybody together.
Exactly.
Sand everywhere.
Yep.
I love it.
So, so we were working out through the summer, and then the fall we had several different tryouts, and I was able to make the team, and I was trying out various positions. They had us doing both offensive and defensive positions, just an opportunity to really learn both sides of the field, see where we most excelled. So I was training as a running back and a linebacker. And
those are very physically demanding positions.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I think most of, my teammates can say it's one thing when you're practicing and you don't have your pads on yet.
Right.
And then once you get knocked to the ground the first time, it's a wake-up call.
Knocks a little bit of the sense into you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so January we started, really putting on the pads, and we had practices 3 times a week, and I was coming into work with bruises and getting a lot of questions. But
I can only imagine how everyone felt about that.
Oh yeah, you see a 5'3", young girl like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm playing football, and you get a lot of questions after that. Okay, what kind of football? Flag football?
Everybody, I'm sure, assumes it's going to be the flag football.
First question is flag. Second
Right.
question is lingerie football. And so that's a really big stereotype that we're trying to dispel, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, because that's not what you want to be known for. That's not what we want in the first thing that come to mind.
Right. And that's why our the Cleveland Fusion slogan is real women, real football. Mm-hmm. And to me, that just means that we're everyday people. We're going to school, we're working, we have moms, and we're, again, just your average person, but we're playing real football. We're playing NCAA rules, and we're hitting just as hard as the guys. And, I mean, that's, I think, pretty unique.
Oh, it's extremely unique. And watching it for the first time, I got a very large respect for it because, like you said, it's real football. There's no holds barred. Holds barred. Mm-hmm. Pardon me. You're actually getting out there. You're making those plays, and it's nobody's going half speed. Everybody's going full force, and I loved it. Your whole heart's into it, and before you know it, you're all right. Mm-hmm. There we go.
And the crazy thing is, the league's been around for so long. The Fusion's been around since 2001, so we have some veterans who've been playing for 10 years. And so you come on having never played football before, besides in your backyard, and you're like, how do I keep up with them? Both from a physical standpoint as well from a knowledge of the game standpoint. Because one thing to watch a game and kind of understand what's happening, and it's another to be in the game. and to watch it. And so that was definitely a big learning curve. But unfortunately, in February of 2018, I ended up with a season-ending injury. I tore my ACL meniscus. So,
that's an extremely serious injury if anybody is not familiar with it.
Yeah, and I think it happens. It wasn't anything that was exclusive to football. It just, women's knees sometimes just don't work like they want to. So since then, I've really been focusing on the marketing side of things, helping the Fusion from behind the scenes, getting the word out, and really showcasing the stories of the women that are still on the team and still putting it all out there.
And I think that's great that you still have that passion, because a lot of people can get hurt and having that injury and kind of dispel that. It pushes you away, but you're embracing it and making the most of it, which is encouraging. You know, I hope everybody on the team realizes and sees, which I'm sure they do, that you know, you really care about them.
Right.
And that's again why we're trying to get the word out, even if it is just a podcast here and there. But it's great to hear your story, and you know, like you said, everybody has their own. Real women, real football.
Right.
So, I mean, is there anyone else on the team in particular that when you met, you're just kind of like, wow, like that's inspiring, or maybe that pushed you a little bit harder because you wanted to match that, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, I think it's everybody put together, because, you know, you meet these people when you're playing, and then once I got hurt, I still received so much outreach from people saying, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What can we do to help? And I think that really is what's kept me going, because I don't want to say, oh, football, that was just a thing I did that one time. I tried it didn't work. No, I want to say I tried it, and okay, maybe for now it's not my thing. For now it's not going to be playing as I am going through rehab and whatnot. But I'm going to do my best to really push it forward. But I mean, there's so many players that have inspiring stories. You have single mothers of 2 or 3 kids that their kids are coming to practices with them and are playing on the sidelines. I mean, I think that's just so awesome, because not only do they get to have their family become a part of the team, it makes them a role model for their kids and kind of, you know, pushes those boundaries of what a typical, you know, 30-something-year-old mom is. That was kind of the joke, is, you know, you talk about soccer moms or football moms, whatever, as the person that's driving their kids around. But here, they're the ones that are playing. And I think that's pretty cool. And, you know, we have a coach that's a police officer. We have teammates that, you know, again, are going through school full time. We have some high school players. Our youngest player was 17. Our oldest was in her 50s. So it's kind of like, no matter where you're coming from, whether you have any experience with football or not, if you have the curiosity, the drive, the dedication to it, you can make it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's just a great philosophy to have for life. You know, that if you believe that you can, if you want to, if you just have that drive, see where it takes you.
Right. And that's what I think sets a lot of these women's sports teams apart from your NFL teams, your NBA teams, etc. It's that we're allowing the accessibility that anyone who wants to try it, come on out and join us. And it's not going to be for everyone. We're not going to, you know, say that it is, but we're allowing it to kind of be like a grassroots, you know, no matter what your background is, no matter where you come from, you have the potential. And the Cleveland Fusion has offered that for me, and I want to make sure other people know that it's there for them. We try to make our game days as accessible as possible. They're very affordable. And just, you know, we have a lot of like player autograph sessions, things like that. So someone who sees their role model can come up and meet them, no questions asked.
And where can someone look for those events?
Our website and our Facebook page, Instagram, kind of all of that. We keep that up to date as much as we can. Our season starts in April, and this season we plan to be at Maple Heights High School. So once we get our schedule, we'll be, you know, sharing that with everybody, and hope people will come out and take a look.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I hope everybody does. I hope everybody gets a chance to maybe at least see a game. You know, Maple Heights, that stadium is awesome. For just a high school. They do it real well. It's a very fun time. You know, very family friendly.
No, it's a beautiful field. I think it seats around 5,000, which is awesome. We have great people that do all of our concessions, and just a really great family-friendly vibe. We only have 4 home games per season, not including the playoffs. So hopefully the weather holds up for us this year, and we'll have some great opportunities for spring football.
That'd be great. Now, for those that are listening that might be interested in possibly trying out for the team, so walk us through, so you have your story and how you did it. How can someone who doesn't maybe know anybody, doesn't know TJ and Tom, how would they be able to reach out and be able to try out? Let's say, even if tryouts are over, if someone wants to join maybe mid-season, because who knows when someone's going to be listening. And
no, we have a lot of that.
Okay.
So the best way would either be to reach out to us through Facebook or Instagram. They could email us at scouting@clevelandfusion.com, and that'll go directly to our coaches who are in charge of all of the scouting and recruiting and whatnot. And so we have workouts multiple times a week, and it's flexible with people's schedules. So if they reach out to us, we'll let them know what the next couple of weeks are looking like. They can come out, meet some of the players, get a feel for things, see if they like it. And really, it's as simple as that. They can come, jump into our workouts, and, we're not going to turn anybody away. We'll see, where the right spot is for you. And usually people will figure out pretty quick whether or not the sport is for them. We'll start putting on pads and equipment come January. So that's really when people figure it out pretty quick. But leading up to that, just come try it out, see what you think. And that's, again, where a lot of these collaborations with other teams goes, is because, okay, well, maybe football wasn't for you, but, hey, maybe you meet someone through us that leads you to roller derby. Maybe that's where your calling is. Who knows? Most of us football players do not do well on skates. But,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. But, you never know. So it's just allowing that accessibility and the communication to really find women that are interested in expanding their athletic opportunities and helping them find their path.
Yeah, regardless, like you said, if it's with your team or another, if you can help improve someone's life, whether that's physically, mentally, maybe someone needs help, socially, it's such a great opportunity to be a part of that. Can I call it a coalition?
Yeah, no, we're trying to create, a community of like-minded athletes and just people in the community who want to further athletic opportunities.
Which is fantastic. It just makes me so excited. Yeah. And, we had TJ on episode 1, and, he was able to give a background to the team and how he became a part of it. But it was wonderful. It's been wonderful to have you give your personal story and your experience and possibly that opportunity for another individual as like yourself to become a part of the team and participate.
Thank you. Yeah, that's, I guess, the one thing I would like to impress upon everyone is that it's never too late. If you have any inkling or desire, what are you waiting for? Just try it out, take that leap, and just see where it takes you.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. I love it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elise. Again, Elise Bigley of the Cleveland Fusion. You can reach out to them. Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, Instagram.
We'd love to hear from you. Let's hear what you think. Come out to the games. What the season starts in June? April.
Season goes April to June. Playoffs after that. So, keep up with our website, and we'll update you from there.
Come see the games at Maple Heights. We'd love to see you. Again, thank you very much for listening. This has been your Eye on Fusion, and tune in for episode 3.